Hi guys, this is Aaron from WINECULT and welcome to another bottle breakdown. Today we're talking about the 2020 Constantino Ramos Alfuente Albarino from WINECULT y Malhaco. That is Portugal's most prestigious and famous subzone within the Vinho Verde. Before we dive in, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So this 2020 Albarino is such a treat to bring to the wine club this month. It's a very food-friendly wine, but it's crisp enough to also be able to obviously drink on its own. For anyone who's been following us for some time, you know I love Albarino. This is really one of my favorite wines to help me transition us from the hot summer months to the cooler fall months. So when winemaker Constantino Ramos was growing up, wine was a large part of his family's daily meal and certainly the reason for their annual harvest of grapes, which was always very interesting for him. He always wanted to pursue wine, but his family never made it on a commercial level. So relatively young, he was born in 1983. I'd love that to be relatively young, given I was born in 88. He's a hobby historian with just an encyclopedic knowledge about Portuguese politics and wine culture. And old Portuguese wines come along with that in general. So when you hear him speak about the world, it really feels as if he's coming from that vantage point, really influenced by old Portugal. His perspective on wine is also pretty broad because, like many who have reached the highest levels of the industry, he's fairly well traveled outside of his home country. So he's really an international wine lover, and that really comes out in his winemaking. So in the vineyards he sources grapes from, no herbicides or pesticides are used. And the management of the grasses and herbs or weeds are done by hand rather than spraying. Of course, given the humidity of the region, it's pretty typical by the way, in all winemaking cultures that deal with high humidity that whether sustainable or organic or biodynamic, a lot of work is still done to manage mildew. Because of course, if left unchecked for any moment, mildew can severely damage the crop. This Albarino was planted in 2014 on granite bedrock and topsoil. It's pretty ubiquitous bedrock and topsoil within the WINECULT. The grapes are picked much earlier in the growing season than almost all of the surrounding area because, first of all, Constantino's preference for extremely fresh white wines, but it really sets what he produces in the end apart from the rest of the wines in the region. This wine is destemmed before pressing and settled for 2 days, and then put into 400-liter old barrels for its natural yeast fermentation that lasts around 4 to 5 days. The overall style of this wine is very high toned with a lot of citrus and a strong savory component. I'd also say it has a medium mouthfeel. Of course, it's Albarino, so we should expect screaming acid coming in, and this wine definitely doesn't disappoint on that score. For more bottle breakdowns and other great wine content, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Aaron from WINECULT, and I'll see you next time.